Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey there. I got someone. Okay, awesome. I wasn't sure how to do it, so I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to send everyone the link. So 1 second.
You're fine.
Is this okay? Let's see. Try Erica now. May 17. Okay. Let's see. Apparently I have to send them invites, so we'll see if they accept it. I'm not sure. Okay. How are you tonight?
Good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Just trying to get this all figured out somehow.
I'm just folding laundry.
I don't know. Go. That's a good thing to do. I have to do that tonight too.
I know. All my kids are already in bed, so I'm like, this is the only time I have. So
yeah, I understand that. That's what I'll be doing after I have this and I put my baby to bed.
So where are you at?
I'm in Eugene, Oregon.
Oh, good.
Yeah. What about you?
Some friends, some neighbors that live close to me, like just down the street. They're from Oregon.
Oh, really? Awesome.
Yeah. I can't tell you exactly where they're from, but they go every summer back home to visit her.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they're both their families.
Oh, very cool. Where are you from? Or where are you? Where do you live right now?
I'm in Georgia.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
So it's 9 o'clock our time.
Oh, so it's late. They can't figure it out.
Hopefully somebody figures it out. I did go on to try and figure out the what is it? This overview where it's like the case study, and the page is down.
I clicked on that too. Like it said where it said to how to do this, like the.
Yeah, is your page down too?
I think. I'm trying to. I sent them in. Okay. 1 second. They don't know how to get onto their Google Hangouts.
You type in Google Hangouts and then click under your new conversations. Click the link.
I know. I'm trying to tell them that, but they're like, I'm logged in onto Gmail, but I don't know how to go to Google Hangouts. I was like, just Google Hangouts and click on it.
Yeah, Google.
Okay.
No,
okay.
it's hangouts.google.something, I think. I can't
remember. Okay.
I just have it as one of my favorites from like 2 semesters ago, so it's just up as one of my favorites, so I didn't have to find it every time. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've never really used
my laundry, like whatever. There's my.
That's okay.
Clothes. And then I'll probably be ironing too. So.
Okay. Hey, whatever works. Okay, someone's trying to call on Google Hangouts.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, cool.
But your video's dark.
I don't want it on because I'm breastfeeding at the moment.
Oh.
Plus, I look terrible, so that's the main reason. I really don't care if my boobs are out, but I look awful. Oh, you guys look so good.
Priorities, right?
I'm trying to, okay, so we're trying to get Lisa on here. Let me message her. Okay.
I just sent her the link to the Google to this, so Google get it.
It will be in Google Hangouts. So you have to.
She just tried calling me on Google Hangouts, and
She did?
I messaged her the link to, yeah, so I messaged her the link to this, so if she clicks on it, she'll be able to join us, so
Oh,
I told her to, so hopefully she will.
Okay. And I am, well, as long as you guys are okay with it, I started a doc for filling out everything and then submitting it, if that's cool after this.
Yeah, that's great.
Hey.
I can't even, like, my error page is down. Like, it just keeps saying page unavailable. There's an error. So
Yeah,
I can't even
did
log
it.
in. Like, BYUI, I can log in. But then when I try and click on the stuff to get into, like, the case study, it just says error, error, error.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that's weird.
So, okay, so I have, I'm making an APA doc for our thing. I'm putting all of our names on it. I've got Lisa, me, Victoria. You're Victoria Esplin, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and then we have, hold on, let me fill out everybody's names. Okay, and then before I submit the document, do you guys want me to email it to you guys so you can look over it and add to it or whatever?
Sure.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Ew, how do I like block my video? I don't want my face on there. It's dark, but
it's totally fine.
it says my
okay.
camera's
I'm sitting here folding socks, so.
Oh, cool.
I'm like eating dinner, so you know, it's okay.
Well, I'm glad that we're all chill about this because it's really not.
Now, if there was a guy on here, I'd be like, yeah, you probably did the right thing. I'm pretty sure we've all breastfed. We are like, whatever. We don't
Yeah, that's true. And let me put your last name in there. Okay. Man.
You guys see my kids' whitey tighties? I'm sorry. I'm trying to.
Don't worry about it.
My iron stuff.
Okay.
I have no idea what y'all are looking at.
We're good. How do you say your name? I'm so stupid. Is it Delia?
No, it's like my parents made a deal, so it's deal. Like, just make a deal.
Oh. So that's how you. So it's not IA at the end. So it's DEHL.
DEAHL. So it's like deal, like deal the cards, but they put an H in there.
Oh, I get it. Okay, I felt so stupid when you called earlier, and I was like, I don't know how to say it. Okay.
Oh, are you kidding me? No, don't worry about it.
And then how do you spell your last name?
It's just WILSON. Wilson.
Oh, Wilson. Okay, so let me get this right. We have Erica May, Lisa Shirk, Victoria Esplin, and Deal Wilson. Yay? Yep. Okay. Everyone's in my doc, and I have it organized. So we'll just talk, and I'll take notes, and then I'll put it into an essay format and email it to you guys. And if you guys say it's cool, then I'll submit it. Okay?
Sounds good to me.
Perfect.
Multitasker there.
So, we're still waiting on someone, huh? We can't get started.
Well, I don't know. I haven't heard from anyone else. Like, no one else was texting me, so I haven't invited anybody else.
Are they sure they know that they're
emails that I've given?
Because I didn't
So
realize.
it's just us. Lisa, I see Lisa's on here. Lisa, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. I can hear you too. Okay, so we're good. Okay, I guess we'll just get started because I haven't.
Well, hopefully everybody knew like who is supposed to be in Group 8 is in Group 8 because Group 7 is meeting at the same time.
Exactly. Oh, and I have a question. So she also asked whoever submitted the thingy to send a link of the Google Hangouts. Do I just copy and paste the link that's above me right now?
No.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
And then once it records, then everything we say she can hear. So.
Okay. Good to know. Okay, so I am putting the link down here just so I don't forget. Okay. Are we
Wait,
pausing?
are we recording right now?
We
I
are
don't know.
recording
Okay.
We are. Okay.
since it's live, right? What's this?
I've never done Google Live Hangouts before, so I just
Well, it says this video call is a
Yeah.
running app that gives a moderator the ability to control your audio video settings during the call. Blah blah blah. Okay.
Yeah, you're supposed to record it and then send the recorded link to her.
Okay. So since it's
I
live,
think it is recording. Because I have it on live, and when I stop the broadcast, it stops. So
okay. So it is recording, and
Well,
all I have
you
to do
can
is
still do the broadcast, but you really have to push record because I remember this last semester, but I don't.
okay, do you know where it is where you push record? Let's see.
Where is whoever sees a record button, press it, because I have to send the link to her after.
Well, it's
Yeah.
only one person that needs to push record.
Yeah, I'm going to do all that, but I'm just looking for the link or the thing to say it's recording.
Who started the
Yeah, I
link?
don't
Who
see-
was it? Who started the broadcast?
Victoria.
Okay, I think you're the one that has to do
Victoria?
the record.
Is there a record
Okay.
button that you see, Victoria?
I don't see a record button anywhere. I can stop the broadcast. It says live. I don't see any other place. In settings, there's no place to record it.
Let me check under settings, I think.
I mean, she didn't really. I bet I'll just send her the link we have. This is so silly.
Yeah, I think you're good.
I mean, I'll just
Okay.
send her the link. And
I mean,
if she says something, I'll be like, oh. You okay, sweetie? Okay, so we can get started. Good night. Okay, so do you guys want me to ask the questions that are on the paper, or does somebody else want to head it and then I'll take notes?
Okay, so I can't, so when I go under BYUI, it just says error page down, error page down. And so I can't see anything. It just keeps saying that everything's down. Now, but I've done,
Okay, so you haven't watched
so it's not like I
haven't watched the
I
family
just
therapy session yet.
yeah, it just error page not found. That's all I keep getting. But
Well,
yeah,
we'll just run it through as long as you've done the readings. I don't care. And I already put in my thoughts in here, so you guys we'll just talk and we'll add to it, okay?
sounds good.
Okay.
Okay, so let's do this. Hold on. Stella, do you want me to turn the light on and open that for you, honey? Here. Sorry, guys. Here, sweetie. Let me turn that on for you. Okay. All right, so first question, here we go. Take turns talking about the points you identified, both the avert references and more I can't say that word, subtle ones.
Subtle.
Subtle.
Gotcha.
Yeah, subtle.
Okay, so I'm looking at my notes so we can go through them. So
Okay.
I noticed there was definitely an encouragement of shared efforts and concrete steps and perseverance in there.
One of the things that I noticed was the family therapist, he reframed and relabeled what they were saying a lot so it was more clear. One of the quotes from the reading that I thought went with it was, through these techniques as reframing and relabeling, a problem situation can be redefined in order to cast new light and shift a family's rigid view or response. And that was on page 145 of the chapter 6.
Will you copy and paste that text
Yeah.
and then put it in the chat message, and then I'll copy and paste it to my Word doc?
Yeah, I'll do that on my Google Hangouts chat.
Anybody else who has thoughts like that, and then I'll just add them directly because that's a direct quote, so I'll put it in there. But yeah, I noticed it reframed and relabeled a lot, and I was actually looking for what the exact thing would be called. But let me see here. I also, he, like the text said about collaboration and teamwork, there was a quote that said, family resilience approach emphasizes the value of collaborative efforts in surmounting life challenges. In crisis, mutual support is most likely to break down as members hunker down in isolated, self-reliant models of coping and adversarial positions, blah, blah, blah. But anyways, I thought that also went very well together because he kind of he would suggest that you remember how he was suggesting at the end that they come up together with a plan, but he didn't do it himself. He suggested.
He didn't give them the plan. He just gave them, he kind of delegated it to them. He directed them the way that they should do it, but then he left the details up to them. I liked that.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah. So would that be a good phrase for that? Because in the book, that's what it was called, was the collaboration and teamwork, right? Or did you guys think, was there a different?
I think
No, I think
collaboration and
Sorry.
teamwork is a great thing because that's exactly what they were doing. They were collaborating and they were coming together for teamwork.
With a plan. Okay. And then let's see here. Difference.
I had another quote that kind of goes along with that.
Perfect.
I'll send it to you, but it says, it's most important to help families initiate and follow through on concrete, achievable steps towards
Yes.
objectives, especially when challenges loom as overwhelming and goals seem remote. So this family didn't really know what their end goal was, but I think that the therapist did a good job of kind of trying to help them have, create steps for that.
So
and
that was
also
under,
it says,
oh, sorry. Keep going.
oh, that's okay, keep going.
I was saying that was under the section that I mentioned earlier, right? The encourage shared efforts of concrete steps and perseverance, right? And then you'll just send me that quote. Okay.
Yeah, I'll send you the quote. I sent you the other one on the Google Hangout, so I'll send you this one too.
Perfect.
But yeah, I thought that he did a good job of that. And also he talked about like having them come back to what they had talked about. So he told them to have a meeting on Sunday and talk about it, but he didn't tell them what to talk about.
Yeah.
He did to start that communication. So I think that was a good
Well,
thing to do.
It also left it in their court to kind of figure out for themselves, like analyze themselves. Just be like, okay, this is what is going on. So they really had to think about what they were really doing. I mean, like if you would have just told them, then they weren't realizing it for themselves. They were just like, oh yeah, that's exactly what's going on. But they really had to like think about it before they sat down to talk about it. At least that's the perception I got.
No, absolutely. I agree with you. That's exactly what happened. And I think he did an excellent job of that the entire time. And then like constantly validating like what was being said, but reframing it in a positive light. There was a word for that, turning things into a positive. Let me see. Instilling hope and optimism. When clients have lost hope or pessimism, we ask, has there ever been a time when you felt more hope about the situation? When it was different? Don't you think that kind of applies to when he was kind of asking about how their relationships were before they moved from, where was it, Nebraska or something?
Yeah.
So should I use that one?
Really good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great.
Used when he asked, because he talked a lot about how they used to deal with things or how the relationships were, what they like to do before the move. Okay, good. Would you say that the systems-oriented approach, the pathways to resilience, was used with the psychoeducational models? Did anybody else point that one out? Or
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Okay, so one, I don't know if I'm on track with this or not, but so I was thinking with the section that I read about the psychoeducational models, it said family support programs, marital and family enrichment, family consultation have considerable potential for providing needed information, skills, and support to families in crisis to learn coping with serious or persistent disorders, workshop programs, blah, blah, blah. But skills training well, I guess that doesn't really, it's a little bit different. Maybe probably not add that one.
Yeah, because that sounds like more for like kids with disabilities more than it's kids with illnesses.
I agree.
I mean, sometimes you wonder like what the difference is, but I think the difference is like how the parents treat the kid with the disability and the kid that's like terminally ill, I think.
Yeah. So there were a few different types of the therapy sessions that were in the readings. Was there one that you guys specifically picked out that you would say was the type of session that they had?
One that I talked about, this kind of went along with how the therapist, he would take what they said and kind of make it seem like they had the best intentions. And so it's called the resilience-based therapeutic work.
Perfect. Okay, we're on the same page there. Perfect. Let me put that one in there.
So, yeah, for example, the dad, Michael, would talk. Sorry. Yeah. So, for example, the dad, Michael, would talk about how like the wife, Mallory, she was kind of like would act crazy and be overreacting and all these things, but the therapist didn't really talk about it like that. He kind of changed it so by putting it in a positive light. So it was like creating positive intentions.
Right, and I think like once the therapist was like talking about it positively, she started thinking about it as a more positive thing, and she wasn't so down on herself. So then she wasn't so down on everyone else. So I mean, like it was a tactic that I saw. I don't know if everybody else like noticed.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Oh yeah, definitely. So this is in that resilience-based therapeutic work. So it said in the book that this kind of work helps family members to develop in ways that bring forth their deepest desires for mastery and belonging, which I think was a big part of their session, talking about how they wanted to belong. And it goes on to say, I prefer to err on the side of assuming that members' intentions are positive or at least benign, even when their actions may be ineffective or hurtful. So the mom, her overreacting and yelling at the son was not working, and it was hurtful, but her intentions were good. She wanted,
right.
She had concern for the son. So it goes back to that resilience kind of based therapeutic work.
I agree, definitely. And I'm writing all of what you're saying down, but will you just make sure to send me all the quotes that you're specifically saying, and then I'll add them in?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sending them to you no, that's okay. I'm sending them to you on the Google Hangouts chat box that open.
Okay, what do you guys think about, something I was thinking was also the refocusing about complaints to aims, because I noticed that, because it says it's important to understand the stress, pain, and frustrations of underlying criticisms, because I think he did that a lot, like you were mentioning before, like how he kind of criticized his wife and saying, okay, she overreacts, whatever, but then the therapist took those complaints and then he turned them into a way of saying, like you said, was that the exact same thing you said? Was the refocusing complaints and aims?
Yeah, he refocused them and made it more positive. So she was feeling better about herself, and then he was feeling, a little more gratitude towards her too.
Exactly. Okay, perfect. That's good then. And then because it said after hearing family members' complaints in an assessment, it's important to ask what they hope to gain through counseling. And I think he did that pretty early on, what the desire was, and he referenced back to that a lot.
Yeah, where he referenced back to it. Yes, I agree.
Okay.
Went through it again with them at the end to talk about what they had hoped to gain, what they actually felt that they had taken away from it. So I thought that was kind of a good way to bring it all together.
Perfect. I agree. Involves. Do you think that the adopting a positive future-oriented focus would blend, since he mentioned will you take your son, they talked about taking him for a ride in the car and talking about career and what his, you know what I'm talking about? Remember that part?
Yeah,
I do. I definitely think that was good.
I did that with my daughter this weekend.
Yeah, it really does help. Instead of just jumping to asking questions, but sharing an experience, it kind of, I don't know, it builds the relationship.
Yeah, and I think just being I don't want to use the word subtle, but I think just making it natural is key too.
Absolutely.
About whatever you're talking about, just being I don't know, let it come up by itself.
I also thought it was good that he recommended the brother and sister go out and just hang out and not talk about the problems, and the parents go out and have a date. I think that just kind of reestablishing their relationships will help, because then it will help make those other kinds of conversations more natural, because right now it seems they're all so disconnected and not meshing that like that is going to be serious and normal. So I think that it's good to kind of start those more casual kinds of interactions and then work on the problems.
Yeah, when it comes to talking as far as to family, if you don't have that communication, then you have to build on that. And I think that's a lot of the reason why they say just start with casual talk, because casual talk is going to build more of a bond, and you're going to be able to discuss things. Because I know when I clam up and I don't talk to people, just being able to just casually talk makes it a whole lot easier to begin with, because if you don't, then you're stuck. You can't seem to break through that bond of being angry or hurt or whatever it is you're feeling.
That's a really good
I think like what you said is just the foundation of building a trust.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. What you said is absolutely true. And I think that can be applied to like every part of our lives. Like even like when I was inactive and like I had like visiting teachers come over and like I always dreaded it, you know, because it's like, oh, jump into like I'm trying to cross you off a list. But then I started becoming more active when I had a sister that really just showed an interest in getting to know me as a friend, you know, like casual conversation. And then it kind of led into like, well, why did you fall away from the church? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think that's pretty powerful for any relationship. Okay, what do you
I
guys
think we like sometimes like for visiting teaching, like you brought up the good point. Like people are just like, yeah, that's just to check off the list. Here you go. I gave you a lesson. But like for me, like some of the things we do is like I get all the sisters that I visit and teach because we all have kids, and we all just go to the park and hang out. Like that's what they need. They don't need like
yeah.
a lesson so that they have to run around the house and clean it. So
That's actually a really good point. I'm gonna do that with my sisters next time because it does all too.
our favorite right now, because it's like rainy season, is going to Chick-fil-A and letting the kids play at the playground while we just eat, you know? So it's like,
Genius.
anyway, yeah.
I like it.
I do
find
have
fun things that you want to do and then just invite them to it. So it's not like out of your, you know.
Have to be like, yeah, this awkward, like feeling like it's not a real connection kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, they ran around the house trying to clean it as fast as they could.
Exactly. Because it is a totally different kind of approach, you know. And I think that the therapist did a really good job of just constantly trying to create like comfort and then like switching the positions of where people were sitting and making it more personal. I felt this section that talked about praising efforts and achievements. I felt like that 40 pages was like really going over the same basic like 3 concepts, but wording it differently.
I thought the same
I
thing.
agree with you on that. Yeah.
But
I feel like a lot of our long readings are like that. Like they're really basic concepts that they just put in like 50 different.
over and over. So I guess, yeah.
Right.
I'll be the first one to admit that I read that during Relief Society lesson because it is a lot of reading. I cannot just do it on a
It
Monday.
is a lot of reading. Like,
It's a lot.
Yeah, there's no way I can do that on a Monday.
I know. And since we were meeting out today, it was kind of the only way. Because it says it's important to know. Oh, you already put that one in there, so I have that quote. Okay. And then crediting positive intentions. I think we talked a lot about that. Affirming and building family strengths. This, oh, the reframing and relabeling. That's what you were referring to earlier. I think I found the quote on that one too anyways, but let me add it in and then add yours. Okay, sorry, I'm like talking and gibbering because I'm writing the paper.
Oh, that's okay. I don't mind. We appreciate you doing it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's all of you guys talking. It's easy. What did you think about the section that said using respectful language and constructs? Because it says narrative therapists have heightened our awareness to the power of words that can reflect pessimism or foster blame, shame, guilt, or failure, or express hope, pride, confidence. Because don't you think that kind of like goes along with the reframing? Because he would like use what they said, and then he wouldn't criticize them for how harshly they said it, but he'd be like, I hear what you're saying. You're concerned for your brother, and that's why you tell your blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Well,
Right. He would pick up.
I think sometimes just having somebody like tell you like validating your feelings, like, oh, somebody does care, like, will tone you down a bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Oh, the one thing I don't think we brought up yet, but I thought that he did a really good job at the section that talked about depathologizing and contextualizing the problem situation. Because the quote was that in our culture, the readily pathologizes families and touts the virtues of self-reliance, blah, blah, blah. But I thought he did a really good job of like telling them, just so you know, you're not alone. And then he would say like, make them feel, you know, like not feel guilty because they're struggling with the transition of their son. He's like, you know, we have 5 kids and we have those same worries, you know, like not making the mom feel like stupid for having those fears. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Oh, yeah.
So we should add that one. Okay. Anything else you guys want to add to that you can think of right now?
No, not to that. I think that was what you said was pretty nail on.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that's good.
1 second. Okay, and that was, yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, because I can't. Oh, you know what another one would be? It's so silly because like we're talking about the same things, and again, they're being worded differently in here. But the clarifying ambiguity section, I think that would also really go along with that, because it seems that the whole family was just kind of like unaware, and he brought that up. He's like, well, why do you leave the house? And the son goes, well, you know, I feel like they don't care about me. And then he kind of cleared up both of them, and then they were really feeling like he didn't care about them, and he kind of brought them together and cleared up that ambiguity. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely. You could tell that they just didn't understand anybody and how they were feeling. They just all seemed so disconnected. Like the son said that he at home because, well, the dad was never at home, so why did he need to be home? Things like that they might not have thought about. Like that was just kind of unclear.
Yeah,
The son,
it was.
Jimmy, he thought that the parents didn't care about him because of how harshly they were treating him, but really their harshness was coming out of love. So it was just all, nobody really knew how the other people were feeling.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Let me see what other questions there was. I think we've pretty much like gone over everything. So we said take turns talking about the points you identified, avert references, and more. Okay. And then there was, yes, Stella. Hold on, sweetie. I'm in school right now. I'm almost done. Okay. Okay. The next question was, note the trends of your findings as a group. Did everyone identify the same points? I would say we were all pretty much on the same page, wouldn't you guys?
Yeah, I think it was pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
I'll say we were all pretty much on the same page and brought up the same points then, which was good from the readings. Okay.
Now, like the last case study that we did she want all of us to send it in or just one of us again?
No, just one of us. So what I'm going to do is turn this into a paper, and then I'm going to send it to all of you guys in an email. And then you guys can read over it, add to it, whatever. I don't care. I won't be offended. And then when you're ready, I'll submit it, okay?
Sounds good.
Sounds good. And this is separate from the case study. This is the stimulated family or simulated family.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
We had a case study about the Zach story. But yeah, that was separate. Yeah.
Do we have to meet for that one?
No.
That's just posting your analysis to the discussion board.
I feel bad because like I love talking to people. I love you guys. It's just like sometimes you're like, I'm online with school because I'm so busy. You know what I mean?
I know.
There's a reason why we're all online. Yes.
I know. I'm like, this is so funny.
I'm sitting here ironing people. Like
I know. You're like, I can hardly find time to do the schoolwork. You know, it's so hard to like connect with everyone.
I know.
But I'm so grateful. Thank you guys so much for like coming together and being patient. Thank you. Especially Victoria, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem. It's okay.
I think we're
it's
almost
confusing.
done. I know.
It really is.
Way confusing. I'm glad you figured it out because I am like seriously technologically so challenged. Like it's embarrassing. It's so embarrassing.
That is okay. I'm surprised I figured it out, to be honest, because I really had no idea. I just Googled it. So.
Well, I'm glad.
You know, you can put Google Hangouts on your phone.
You can do
really?
it?
I didn't know that.
Oh.
But I have it on my phone because last semester, so I have 4 kids and they're all in 3 different schools, but they all get out at 4 different times. So trying to meet with my group was like impossible. So I downloaded the app. And so when my group would meet, I would just answer the phone and it was like FaceTime. And I would put it in my little holster in my car and I would like drive around picking up all my kids while I was doing group.
Hey, thanks for telling me about that because
hey.
Lord knows we all need it.
Yeah. So you can download it. I think it's called Google Hangouts app.
Perfect.
Okay.
We only have 2 questions left. I know it's late for some of you, especially that are not Mountain Standard Time.
It's almost 10 my time.
Yeah, we're almost done here. So the one question is, talk about your observations. Was anyone surprised by the findings or observations? Anyone have comments on that?
Like, what do they mean, like, surprise? Like,
I don't really know.
What were you surprised of?
Like, is it
I
like,
don't-
oh, I would never have thought about that kind of surprise, or is it like a,
Well,
the family's really screwed up kind of surprise?
was it like surprising that, I don't know, would it work? It's like for me, I guess, I was just kind of like surprised by how simple the underlying issues were that they weren't catching on to. Do you know what I mean? Like, really it all boiled down to, I love you, that's why I'm doing these things. But it's like, why couldn't you verbalize that in a way that wasn't, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
No,
Like,
I
how
think
that
you
was
get
kind of
so
surprising.
caught up in the mundane things that like you forget that they don't realize it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'll put that in, that we forget loved ones don't realize our intentions. And so we need to verbalize them.
Well, you know, I've been married a long time because I'm probably older than most of you here. All of you here. I've been married 30 years, and
Oh,
I
wow.
know that after being married that long, that you get in the habit of thinking you know what they're thinking when really you don't know what they're thinking.
I could see
And
that.
I think that's what a lot of the problem is it eliminates communication, because I won't communicate with my husband on certain things. And he'll say, well, you know, this is what I think. Well, no, I don't, because I'm not a mind reader. And I think because when we're families and we're close, we begin to follow the same old, I guess you would call it.
That's right.
And I think that's why it's so hard to remember that sometimes they're not thinking what you think they're thinking.
Thank you so much
That's
for
true.
sharing that, Lisa, because like that's exactly right. I appreciate that. And I wrote that down, and I'll write down like your example of being married 30 years. You know, that is so true. And come to think of it, I guess I shouldn't be surprised, because how often have I done that in my relationships, gotten frustrated and then assume, you know, this is why they did this without really knowing like how they felt. So I guess we're all guilty of that in some way.
Yeah.
Last question. Are you guys ready for the last one?
Yes.
Okay.
We're ready.
So it says, discuss and record how a treatment professional or paraprofessional might prepare to capitalize on such opportunities to introduce or reinforce the types of resilience factors from Walsh's article.
Wait, repeat that. Rephrase what?
So how can these professionals prepare to capitalize on such opportunities to introduce or reinforce? So basically, like, how can they take advantage of like listening to a conversation and then steering it in a direction of using the resilience factors that he did throughout the whole conversation? Like he's obviously been doing this a long time.
I think for me, my biggest thing, I could really change a conversation just by even just pretending that I care, or I mean, I know that's so bad. So like, say if somebody came to me, was distraught about something, and if I was, you know, you validated their feelings and you pretended like you care, you're just there, it could change their whole perspective of the fact that like, so you had that power to change what they were thinking, how they were feeling at that moment, and it could change like their whole course of the day, could change the whole course of the week, whatever. So I think for me, it would be just validating feelings, turning it into positivity. But sometimes that can be tricky. Like for a professional, I know changing something in positive when you don't want to hear positivity. You know what I mean? Like you're just like, no, the whole world is out to get me, just accept it. You know, you want to hear the negative at that moment sometimes. Because I know when my husband's like, oh, you always come through, you'll be fine. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Yeah, you're like, I just want to be validated. That
I'm like, just tell me that it's awful. Okay, that's all I want to hear.
I'm sorry that you feel that way.
So I think
Keep going.
just validating the feelings is the biggest power that I think any professional can have with anything.
Perfect. And then so how the power of validation, then being able to as he's reframing what's being said, identifying, like, because he also he rephrases what's being said to him and says, am I getting that right? And then that kind of gives him time in his mind while they're agreeing to think about, well, what path could I take this conversation to next? And then kind of he can run through what he knows as a professional and then discuss them and decide, okay, well, let's go to, talking about old, how we dealt with things in the past, all those strategies, and kind of decide where he's going to take the conversation during that time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I have my
We ask
windows
them all
open.
the time.
Yeah, he was. Agreed with what? Is there anything else anyone else wants to add before we get off?
I think that's good. I think the main thing that I noticed that he did a lot of was the reframing of everything. So he took everyone's statements, he validated their feelings, then he reframed it to kind of put it in a more, I don't even know if I would use the word positive light, but kind of more understanding perspective so people could maybe see what was really happening. So I just think that the whole reframing is really important from the principles that apply to this video.
Absolutely agree with you.
Yes.
Okay, well, we have that all in there. And then if you guys don't mind, I'll just take the night to kind of make it look a little bit better and type it up. And then if you guys don't mind, can I email that to you first thing tomorrow and then have you let me know how it looks?
Sounds
That'd be
good.
great.
Yeah?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You guys, thank you so much for meeting up, and we hopefully can group again.
Definitely.
Not as bad as
Thanks, guys.
Hope you get some sleep. I know it's late.
I know, I'm
We all
like,
need sleep.
I'm usually out by 9:30, so I'm like 20 minutes.
That's what happens when you're a mom, right? Thanks for all your input, guys. We'll talk later.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.